Okay guys, the reason I'm making this video is to advocate for platoon tactics, for platooning, and for talking to people. And although what the Panic crew here did, KZ Bay, McCulver 16, and Jim Ape did here was to some degree rolling the dice and taking a chance. Nevertheless, I think it's a good strategy on this map, and I'm just going to increase the size of the mini-map. For me, historically, the greatest successes have come from working this area from this side, or on the other side, working this area. That's just the way it's worked out. When we used to do clan wars, we would count on the enemy team positioning vehicles in this area, and we'd win it over in this area before they had an opportunity to reposition themselves and get back into the fight. So ideally, in every battle in World of Tanks, you want to possibly isolate an enemy force with a superior force and wipe them out before they are able to respond, and that's exactly what happened in this game. Another thing is that I'm going to do some more drawing here. Typically on this map, and very commonly, people line up on both sides of this. I used to call it the Continental Divide when we were doing clan wars. So there's people lined up here, and there's people lined up here, and they're doing peekaboos, and they're shooting, and they're timing the reloads, and then taking a shot at so and so, and then they're receiving fire in return. It's a very skilled thing to do, but it's not terribly tactical. Tactics involve movement, positioning, and redeploying, and trying to steal a march on the enemy, and that's exactly what happened in this game. Now, a few seconds ago, Jim, that was the second part, right? Platoon, as a group of three, also talk to your team and try to get them to help you do something. Now, there were mistakes, and I'll point them out, but I'm going to hit the space bar here and move it at twice normal speed. So there's Jim. We are going one line, no stopping. And the McCulver. Okay, a few jokes will help give people the correct attitude. So let's just count the vehicles that are assembling in this fire team. So the M48 Patton is with the group, Centurion Action X, Object 268-4, and so this is great. Now, my preference, these guys here, this is details, but these guys here, I would prefer them to be sort of in this area using the indestructible buildings as cover. It's simple. If they need to be reinforced, people can get there quicker. On the other hand, if the enemy had a massive push here, right, they risk being isolated. So maybe it's a good thing that they're this far back, because it's very unlikely. City fighting takes longer, right? That's one of the rules of this game, is that it's very technical. When you're in the buildings, you have to angle your hull and your turret and not get in the way of other people, and trying to organize the shots is very difficult. Whereas in open areas like here, people can position their tank much more freely, and that's what we're counting on. So I'm going to hit the space bar again, and you can see this is developing nicely. And let's count the vehicles. So yeah, so it's to me it's obvious these guys, 4 or 5 guys, they're going to be wiped out. Now the TVP was heavily damaged and he's retreating. I mean, that's correct move for him to try to save himself for round 2, but it looks like round 1 is already lost, and there won't be a round 3 or 4, right? So these guys are isolated and destroyed, and these people are not able to quickly reinforce them. And as you can see, look at the vehicles. We're only a minute and 90 seconds into this game. The Mouse, the T-57, Type 5, one of the 268-4s, 2 T-110E4s have not been seen yet. And there's a pitched battle going on here, and the slow-moving vehicles have a difficult time responding. Now there is a mistake here. this is one of the things that is bad in World of Tanks is TDs that don't recognize the moment to move forward. So the Jagdpanzer E100, he should be headed here, and the Badger too, right? Get into the firing line and enter the fight and seek out targets. There's no arty, so it's extremely safe for them to advance to that position, and they should already be on the way. But as you'll see, it takes them a while to realize that. And situational awareness, knowing when to advance, knowing when to not to advance, and not wasting any time. So, and I'm just going to fast forward this again, and let's just count the losses. 1, 2, 3. The grill's doomed. Okay. Let's just wait till he's dead. Okay, so the HP now is definitely in the favor of the attacking force here, and you'll see the Badger's on the move, but the Jagdpanzer E100 has still not shifted to enter the end of the fight. Too bad. And these guys as well, because the enemy is starting to lose, they must advance to contact. Right. That's another thing that happens in World of Tanks is you're succeeding, but part of your group is not participating, and they have to participate as soon as possible to pin people down so that you can take full advantage of the momentary and possibly fleeting superiority in a battle, right? We've all seen battles go the other way because people didn't enter the fight. They waited too long, the enemy recovered, and you can see the numbers on the screen. The team that attacked here did have a slightly deficient crew skills and experience and proficiency in achieving damage, which is what largely WN8 measures. So I'm not saying it's game over, but the audacity here, like, how risky is it? This is difficult to assess. Sometimes there's a huge force on both sides, and it turns into a melee and a Donnybrook, and the people who, their battle drill, as I call it, is better, might have the advantage. But I don't know the answer to this question. I use the term rolling the dice. I think it's a fun thing to do. And it gives you a sense of achievement. And we did not waste any time. See, the enemy had people lined up here, as I said, to start doing that non-tactical individual sword fighting, mano a mano. And this is not mano a mano. This is a group action, and you can do this on a lot of maps. And sometimes it doesn't work, but I think when you take the balance of probabilities, this is the way to play World of Tanks. Platoon up, tell the team what you're doing, and go for it. And I think you get a greater sense of achievement, unless you're a complete individualist, from doing this. Anyways, I'm not going to show you the rest of this. Jim, I think, finished with over 5,000 damage. KZB got around 4,000. McCulver got around 2,000. So it was a very satisfying win, and game over.